put links in the chat room and also in the group chat, so you can read more about color theory. But basically, it's it's what people say is a science, people say is an art. We as human beings, there are certain just like there are certain what's the way there are certain based on the color that is available, based on the colors that we see, we can attribute certain qualities to color, right? So for most of us, especially when it comes to things that are related to food, if you're seeing greenery, if you're seeing red, if you're seeing yellows, there's that association that we've come to make with food, right? And there's a way a particular fruit would look when it is good and when it is bad, that we've over time subconsciously come to associate things that are healthy with a particular color and things that are bad or negative with a particular color. For instance, if you look at this one is very widely documented. If you look at the colors that are used for a whole lot of eateries and restaurants, you would always notice that there are two predominant colors. There is red, there's yellow, and that's because people have psychologists rather believe that red and yellow that they kind of increase your appetite. Let's say if you go to any eatery, you always see red, yellow, or sometimes even green, right? Because those are colors that evoke, that they're colors that just seem to evoke people's appetite. And if you see in the tech space, when it comes to use colors, there's a whole lot of blue, because blue has, it means trust, it means someone that is solid, it means solidarity. Over time, there's so many there's so many things that we've come to associate certain colors with. For instance, white, someone wearing white, and white means purity. Let me see, I think I have a chart that has some of that there. Okay, I didn't include it in this slide, but I'll just find it somewhere and share with you. So it's very important that all of these things are things that we should have in mind when we are designing certain products that we design. Let me just open. Yeah. Certain products that we design would have, depending on what the product is, depending on the target audience that it is, you would use certain colors, right, to target that audience. For instance, say you're designing something that is targeted towards children, there's the likelihood that you would use a whole lot of colors, things that are bright, things that can engage the kids, right? If you are designing for something that is going to be very serious, there's a likelihood that you're going to use some muted colors, you're going to use some bold colors. It probably won't be as many colors as like that you would use or see on you see on the rainbow or something like that, right? So depending on what you're designing for, depending on the audience that you're designing for, you will use certain colors that kind of fit the profile of what we did. So if any of us were in the last class, you would see how we use fonts, see how we use fonts to design to how certain fonts can denote some kind of seriousness or some kind of playfulness. And also, it's very important that we have that at the back of our minds to when we're using colors. So, like most of us know, we have basically just three primary colors, and every other color, maybe except for white, which means the except for white and black, is these are all that we use to create um, color. Every other color is derived from this red, blue, and yellow. So, and the more you mix them, so these are the primary colors. You probably know of that. You know of secondary colors that are a mixture of these, and you know of tertiary colors, which are like three levels of mixings of colors. I'll probably drop a link so you can read. This very long blog post by 99 Designs that breaks down color theory. So I'll probably just link that in the class. And okay, let me go to this. So um, just right here, I'd like to talk about hues, tints, and hues, tints, tones, and shades. Or maybe preferably, I'll just talk about hues, tints, and shades. So for each color, there is a way when you have a base. Sorry, someone is. Please, can everyone mute so that we can hear well, so I don't have to echo over the call. Okay, cool. All right. So when we're talking about hues, basically hues are pure colors, right? They are like the base colors. A good example of hues are like the primary colors, which I just showed you, which is the red, the blue, and the yellow. Then the primary colors and the secondary colors that you get from mixing those colors together. So when you have a hue and you want to create a tint of that hue, basically you're adding a percentage of white to that color and you get a hue. So like this yellow, for instance, if you add a little bit of white to that, you get a tint of that yellow. Same thing around the whole color wheel. Anytime you add a white to a particular color, you're getting a tint of that. But anytime you add a black to that color, you are getting a shade of that. And if you notice in your website or in your web applications, a whole lot of times the application probably has like a brand color, one brand color. Then on the website or on the app, they will now create different shades of that color or different tints rather of that same color to use around the application or around the website. What this does is that it creates a kind of uniform look. It creates a kind of uniform look throughout the website. So it might start with one big color, it might have one big color, and then they would have like different shades and different tints of that same color, which will be spread around that application or around that website. And I'm going to show that with using some how some of our Nigerian companies have used that across their website. I myself, I design mostly websites and I build mostly websites. So I'll be giving this knowledge based on stuff I've seen happen, and of course it also applies to for applications, right? So when you use too many colors in your project, it kind of looks chaotic, right? Even in our houses, even when people are using colors to paint in their houses, is usually maybe they just stick to like one or two. When you have like four or five, same thing as using multiple typefaces, same thing as using multiple typefaces in a project, it makes the whole thing look very chaotic. Okay, so let me just go into my. Can everyone see? Um, everyone still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so the first
Yes.
website, yeah, cool. So first website I want us to check out and look at how their use of color is the Cowrie Wise website. Okay, just before I go on, let me state that yeah, to be very honest, one of the reasons why I use Cowrie Wise was that their branding was just so on point. So when it comes to the wealth tech, or would I say saving tech industry in Nigeria, I think we have Cowrie Wise and we have this is Piggyvest. Yes, we have Piggyvest, and these two companies are very good in terms of their branding, and I've used both of them before. One, maybe because of the fact that this is just my own personal preference. I like blue a lot, so it was very easy for me to gravitate towards using them. And if you notice, sometimes, I mean, not every time, but a whole lot of banks in Nigeria use blue a lot. Usually blue and white. Some of them use blue, or if it's not blue, probably they'll use white, whether it's in their buildings or um, yeah, mostly in their buildings. So of course, some have brand colors like purple and blue, but when it comes to the tech space, blue seems to be like a very dominant color. So something to note: if you're designing for, say, a food tech or people that are into organic food, you probably be using a whole lot of green. When it comes to companies that do things around um, when it comes to companies that do things around renewable energy, green is a very strong color there as well. So for different industries have like different dominant, but I mean, there's nothing that is totally set in stone, right? It's worth experimenting, but you can also use learn from other brands that have gone before you so that your work will be easier. So if we look at the color that is being used in carry wise right now, you would see predominantly there's this shade of blue, this one right here. There's this shade of blue that is being used. But if you notice in their header text, there's also another blue which is a little bit darker, right? So you can say that this is the base color. I mean, this is just speculating based on what we can see here, right? We're not in the Figma file, or we're not part of the people that made these decisions, but you can say you could start from there's one blue, one color, one blue, one base color that they're starting off. Then it's now a darker blue, which is used for the text. And also this text right here is, I think it might be a blue or a gray. It's a little bit muted. So you see throughout the website, every color that they seem to be using always seems to complement with this blue here, with this particular blue here. It's not clashing it's not, even though you might see this is kind of like orange, but it's really, really faded out. So it doesn't really clash um, with the blue, and there's a whole lot of use of white space. So you see another blue being used here. This is a little bit of gray. This is the same blue, and a whole lot of white space which is being used. So, and when you come here, you see also blue being used as well. I think, yeah, another company that uses blue well in Nigerian tech space is Paystack. Paystack uses I think blue and green. Let me just open that up. All right. So anytime if you can't seem to find like inspiration for your projects, just try and check out other people who have done something similar to what you can do. Something you as UX designers or UI designers do a lot is you can take screenshots of some of the projects. If you're building something similar to something that already exists, you can take screenshots, put them in your Figma, or use an app like what's this one called? Is it? I think it's Mirror. Basically, there are apps that can allow you to save, create style skips, so to speak, of what it is you want to build. So you have the opportunity to pull out from inspiration from different companies. So this is Piggyvest. Um, Piggyverse used to be predominantly a whole lot of blue, but I see they've changed to black, which actually really makes the whole text stand out here. And there's a whole lot of white space. So you can see all throughout the website, like there are little bursts of color. There's green here, there's pink here, there's purple here being used. But you see, there's still that blue still by the way, this is Piggyverse, not Cowrie Wise. But you can see how that use of blue is still around their website. Then there's a whole lot of black, and the hover is blue. So everything is kind of cohesive. Another good, I think this color is called teal. Yes, this is teal color, kind of like a mixture of blue and green. But you can see how it's being used on their menu, is being used as their main header text, and their links is using that teal. And there's basically teal, black, and white That seems to be the color that is being used all over here. All right, so and you see it's being used. So there's different tints of it. There's a lighter tint of it. There's also I think the same color which is being used on the button. So then let's go to Paystack. Yes, Paystack uses blue and green and a whole lot of white. I mean, considering the fact that I mean it's a processing company, you can see there's blue, there's small accents of green on their illustrations down to the bottom, right? So you can see in all of these examples, there's no particular um, yeah, let me share this link in the chat. This one is by Refactoring UI. I usually go back to their building your color palette. I usually go back to them to just get inspiration or just try to calm my mind when it is I want to pick colors. And it has been very, 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 very helpful to me. Whenever I'm designing, I just go back to them, whether it's in terms of using text or in terms of using UI. um these guys actually have very good resources you can check out. So I've posted it in the chat and I'll also post it in the WhatsApp, right? So one way to okay, so if we go, let me see, I don't have that. Okay, all right. So one good example you can use when you want to create, let me use another page. When you want to create UI is that you can start with the base color and add tints of it or add shades of it. So I'll just give a little bit example of that. So let's create a frame. Yeah, and let me just lock this so I don't have to move this around. Let's go into it. All right, so if you, okay, yeah, everyone can see me. So I hope everyone can see this. If you want to create, sometimes you might want to start with the base color, right? And let me see. Let me just create a rectangle here. And we're choosing, let me see, we're choosing maybe a blue. Let me just start from something like this. Let me see, this is your base color, right? So you can create variations of this by, let's just create copies of this. So what I'm doing is I'm holding Option or Shift on Windows. So when you hold Shift, let me just delete that. When you hold Shift, you see how the cursor changes to like a double cursor. So when you hold that Shift and drag, you can create a color, or you can click on your object and type Control C and Control V, and to create another rectangle or another of that same object. So then you can now shift it out. Right, so you can create, so let's just create copies of this. All right, then let me duplicate this and create another copy. Who is showing cloth to? It's so tight for me. All right, so let's start off with this, right? Um, let's say this then let me change this to another color. Let me change this to a green. Let me change this to which color can we use here? Okay, let me change this to like a violet, or is this purple? Okay, yeah, let me change this to purple. She okay. So basically what I would like to do here is create two tints of please don't mind all these colors here. I just need to create something very fast. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to create two tints of this blue and put them here. Then we're going to create two shades of this blue, of this same blue, then we'll put them here. So let's start from this. We'll create a tint of this blue. So we have this blue here. And what easy way for us to create this is we can go to our left and go up, right? And we've created a tint of that blue. I'll do it again. So if you're on your Figma, please open your Figma to do this exercise. So we have all these blues here, right? And you select one, you go to the fill property, you click on that, then you shift, you go left, and then you go up. So basically, going this way, going diagonally up this way, left and right, gives you a lighter shade of whatever it is that you started with. I'll do it again. Start from your base color, you go left and you go up to create a tint of that. Same thing. So let me use this. Let me pick this color and create another tint of this. So you can go left and then you go up. For your shades, you're going to go, or shades of saturation, you're going to go 2 levels on the opposite way. So now that we have still, this is our base color, this is our base color here. We go to the color picker, then you would go, let me shift, sorry, and we go right and down. And so we're affecting this. So now we have this color here. And if I create that same, let me delete this. If I duplicate that same color, I'll put it here. And I want to make it a little bit darker and go left. I'm almost at the end anyway, but I can still go down and create a shade of that. So you can see this is our user paint. So this right here is our main color. Let me give you a big stroke. So you can see this right here is our main color. Then we created two tints. So we just added a little bit of white to this and a little bit of white to this. And now we've created a small variation basically of our main color. We can do the same thing to the green here. So you select green. If you want to create tints of this, shift left. Oh, sorry. I'm doing that on the main color. So change this. Making this green is the same. Making this green the same. So you can go left. Sorry. You can go left then up. Then if you have the same, create a duplicate of this one. You can go left and up again. And create a tint of that. Now if you were to do the same thing with this green as well, let me just pick the same color. Select this tool. Select your eyedropper tool using eye. Make all of them the same. Then give them a darker shade. So you can come down, give it a darker shade. Let me sample this color. And you can give this a darker shade as well. So these are simple ways for you to create, if you have a base color. Sometimes when you're designing for a client, right, they might have their own brand colors. So you can lift from those brand colors and kind of create a little bit of a spectrum, so to speak, a little bit of a spectrum based off on that brand color, which you can use on their website. Sometimes people might have, let me say, sometimes that might not always work, right? Sometimes that might not always work. For instance, I remember sometime when I was designing this company, their main color was red, but you know that you can't use red everywhere. You literally can't use it for buttons sometimes because some people might be confused. You can't use it for buttons. You can't use it for there are certain places that you can, and based on the palette, that it was a very limited palette, and I saw that, man, I can't use this all the time. So what I just did was try as much as possible to minimize the red and use maybe another color like gray in some of the places, so the whole design doesn't look so reddish from top to bottom. And after some back and forth, they actually agreed on it, and we were able to finish that up before I handed it over to the developers. Right. So we'll just explore the use of some color tools. There are many of them. There's a ton of them, but I'll just share two with you now. My favorite has to be um, colors, and let me just put the link in the chat right now. Oh, let me see. Yes, I'll just put that. Then another one is color hunt. So basically, this is so after sharing this, I'm going to share with you is one other technique that sometimes I use, how you can steal colors from other websites and use it on your own. All right, so on color hunt, if you can just check it on color hunt, oh sorry, on colors rather, you have the chance of being able to generate your own color palette, or you can go and see what other people have done in the community. So people who have generated color palettes and they've shared it, you can just go and pick one or two and use that as a base color for your own project. Again, this might again sometimes colors can be, you as a designer, you are there to solve problems, right? But depending on the client that you work with, especially if they don't have like their own base colors that that they are used to, or that a brand person has actually created for them, it might actually be difficult for you to get them to agree on using certain colors for their project. So this is more or less like there are very few instances whereby you just hit, you're just going to suggest a color palette for them, and it's going to work out right. You might still be tweaking it and tweaking it just to get something that works. So over here on colors, you can see the variety of these are the trending ones. You can see the latest that people have created and shared. Um, see all of these are people that have created. You can also create yours as well. Then you can see the popular ones. Um, So all of these are colors. All these saves means that over 44,000 people have saved this to their own profile so that they can use it later. So similar to what we just did, you can see how someone created like a range of monochromatic blues, just using blue and adding tints to it, or starting from here and adding shades to it to get to this level. Right, so these are all no. So please don't feel the need that you have to use all of this. Like, my goodness, you have to open. Let me see if we can open this up on the generator. Okay, so that's that. Then you can, if you go to generate, you can actually go in and use the generator to get your own colors. So what I like about this is that a lot of times when I'm using colors, all I just need to do is that I pick the first color that I want to create. So let me say you have let's come to Figma. Let me say I want to create some variation of this purple, right? I want to create some variation of this purple. Now, the color of this purple according to my field, the hex code here is 821AA7. So I'll just copy that and I'll bring it to colors and I'll put that inside here. When I put that, I lock it. So when I lock it, what it means is that I'll just be able to cycle and generate other colors and I can keep on locking them as I choose to. So using your space bar, you can once you just tap it to generate other colors. So I'm going to lock this as well and it's generating colors, generating. So I'm just tapping. Okay. Let me lock this. So just generate. Oh, this is nice. All right, so then you now have something like this that you can use. So by the way, you won't necessarily be using what with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah, you probably won't be using all of this, but I could see some value in using this color, this one, and also this black here. Let me see if I can tweak this a little bit. So I can view shades of all of this. Let me take it higher. Yeah. So I can have this, and then I can now use them for my project. So don't go over like using all 5 colors or all 6 colors, right? You just need I could use this as my standard color. I can use this as an accent, and I can use this, for somewhere else as well. So these are just ways by which you can generate colors. Last week I talked about, but while generating colors for your project, it is very important that you make sure that these colors look good. Like text can look good on your background colors. For instance, if you did something like this, so let me just create a new canvas. Let's say you're designing a website. My favorite is using, let me see, this kind of white, which is way too bright, by the way. And you want to create text, and you're saying, increase this, open sans, make this extra bold, right? Then, but you now go ahead to create text that is, let's see, oh, that is, say, white, for instance. Right, as you can see, it's already painful to the eyes because there are certain things that don't look good on certain background colors. So as you're using your colors, um do have in mind that not everybody has your eyesight. You need to design, whether you're designing an app, whether you're designing a website, you need to design things that are accessible for other people. There are certain people who have color blindness. There are certain people who can't see certain text. So like this black text now might look good. It looks good on this white, but maybe at a particular say if it's too small, people might struggle. Sorry, people might struggle being able to read a whole lot of this. So these are all things that you need to consider when when you're designing, when you're designing your UI. Also these days, okay, something I probably won't cover in this class is also designing for dark mode. So when you're designing, some apps would ask that they want dark mode on their computers. So maybe another. So it's not part of the class, but I just had to mention it. So there's also designing for dark mode and making sure that your text and whatever it is that both the sizes and both the colors are legible. People can actually see what it is that you're doing, right? So that's okay. Then let me, yes, yeah, let me post this link as well. I don't know. Okay, yeah, I've already posted it inside the group. The factoring UI. Basically, this article gives you a kind of note on how to create and generate different color palettes and different shades for your app or for anything it is that you're building. So, at this juncture, I would like us to actually check out some people's projects if you have any, and yeah, let's see how we can give feedback to anyone. So oops if you have any thing that you need feedback with right now, please just share it with me and let's go through it. If you've done some work already and you need some feedback on it, please just go ahead and share it. So I'll stop sharing. So who said they needed feedback on their projects? All right, who wants to, who was it? I think it was Ify or Messi that was talking about um something that they've worked on and they would like to share. Let me check my chat if anyone has sent. Okay, no one has sent.
Yes, I'd like to get feedback on my design, but thing is, my system is out now, so there's no way I can send the feedback link to you. But I'll do that later in the day.
It is on Figma, right?
Yes.
Can you share the Figma link?
So I'm not sure I have it because my system is out, so I don't think I can share it from my phone.
This class you're meant to be anyway. Okay, okay, that's that. Anyone have
I mean, if you have a Figma account, once you have the credentials, you can log in. You just
all right, anyone have okay. If there's no one, let me just share a small trick that I use myself when I want to design UI, or maybe um I want to pick off UI that's being used on a different website. So let me open, which site can I use now? Okay, let me use this. I'll share my screen in a bit. So there was something for those of you who know Dribble. Dribble is um, a place whereby you can create a portfolio and you can showcase your design. So many years ago, they're not doing it again, but many years ago, when you were on a project, you could actually download the color palette of, they had like, let me share, let me see. Oh no, this is a bad example. Let me find a good example of a project I can share to you guys. All right, let me see this. Hmm. All right. So on Dribble, this is Dribble, by the way. Um, um, oh, wait. Okay. On Dribble, there was a time when you were on a project, you could actually, let me minimize this. On this side of it, you could actually download all the colors that were used on this particular project, right? But if you want to be able to use this on, let me say you come to this website, for instance, and you like the whole look of it, and you're trying to see, oh man, okay, how can I pick this exact colors that are being used here? So I mean, it's a very nice trick to use, especially if you're using Figma. So what you can do is you can copy the image, go to your Figma. So please, can everyone see? I hope everyone can see this. Yes, you can. Let's create a frame. Well, I don't need to create a frame. So let me just put the design inside here, right? So you have this design and you want to get the colors of this project. So you can just go ahead and create rectangles. Let me just duplicate them. All right, so you go to the image, you use your color picker tool. I'm sure there's probably a plugin that enables you to do something like this. So you just tap I on your keyboard, and it will give you this ability to be able to pick colors from your page. So if you pick this, sorry, select a rectangle, pick your eye and click, and you get that color. All right. Then you click another rectangle, select your eye, dropper tool. You come here, you pick the background. Then you select another rectangle, tap on your eye. You can pick this dark part of it. Select a rectangle. Same thing, just do that. Maybe you can duplicate if you want more, just duplicate. Make sure that it is selected. Make sure it is selected. Select your eye. Come here. Okay, this is the same color. This, okay, then let me pick this color here. So I think this one and this one might be the same, but let me just be sure. Okay, something here. Okay, yeah, they are actually this one, they might look the same, but as you can see, they are quite different. The colors are quite different. So this is a way for you to actually get the color palette of a website. This is just the old school way I do it. There's probably a plugin that maybe can enable you to just get the colors of, once you just paste the color into your artboard, you can run a plugin to get your colors out. But this is the way I still do it to date. It gives me a very good way of being able to take. So you can just take a screenshot of, even if it's a website, say a website like this, for instance. You can either take a screenshot, or you can install a plugin like the eyedropper tool. Is available on the Google Play Store. Let me just, sorry, on the Chrome Play Store rather. Let me just check. So go to the Chrome Play Store and you search for color picker. Oh, I'm not sure which one. Okay, wait, let me check. Let's see. I'm not. Oh, then let me see. I don't know if it's this one I use.
Check
Is
color
it-
by photos or something. I think maybe
Sorry?
that works. Color by photos.
Say color by.
Photo.
Can you type it in the chat? Because I can't even remember the one I'm using. So let's see. Color, take color. Okay, color. Grab. Let me see if it's this one. No, it's not this one. Anyway, I'll try and find the exact one I use on my browser. I've installed. I've had this thing for years, anyway, so I can't even remember. Or maybe let me check. Let me check my extensions. Sorry. Um, I okay. Yeah, it's called eyedropper. Eyedropper. Let's see. Yeah, I can still find it. Anyway, let's see. Okay, this is it. Um, let me put that in the chat. Yeah, has it there? So okay, so yeah, it has. This is it. Yes, this is definitely it. Eyedropper. All right. Okay. So that's it. That's the tool I use. And so back to Figma, you can see how it was. I easily just picked up the colors from this page. Then say you're actually on a live website and you want to pick the colors that they are using on that particular website. You can use the eyedropper tool, and basically you just do this. You take um, you click on it, click on pick color from web page, and when you hover on it, it will pick that color and put it in the selected ones here. So you can just see that this is actually full black, nothing too special there. So if you wanted to pick another color on the page, click on this, click on pick color, hover on that color, and you would see it here. So you can just have that. You take it into Figma. Let's create another set of boxes for this. And you come here, paste that color in. So now you have that color. Let me just shift it away. So let's create a frame for this. Go back to the website, scroll, and find another place that has a color and pick that color. Go to your Figma. Let's duplicate this. Come to the fill, add that. Scroll. This is definitely white, so nothing much to pick there. For this, if you want to get this gradient, you click, so you hover on one end of the gradient to get the color. And back to your Figma. It might be the same color with this one, but I'm not sure. But that, well, it's not the same. And then to get the other color of the gradient, go to the, you have that here. Okay. Paste that in your fill. So basically, you can just go through a website and before we forget, um, yeah. So then they have like a total full black, which is like 000 000. and you can just go through any website and just pick. Same thing, you can do that everywhere. You can either take a screenshot or you use the eyedropper tool from the Chrome web store and use it to pick colors off the page and use it to create like a palette that you can use yourself. On Figma, let me just show you how to save colors to Figma. So if you come here, this is Figma specific, but most, I think Adobe XDS has this. Other UX design or UI design programs have this as well. So if you wanted to be able to save these colors so that you can use them anywhere without on text or anything, you come here to this place and make the color a style. So the color is already selected here. Same thing here. Same thing here. So when you click on it, it shows here on the field. Then you click on this four button type thing here. You click on it and you click on the plus button here. Then you can now name the color here. So you can give it a good color. You can say sunshine yellow. Create it. So you have that here. You create this one, same thing, we create it white. It's not fully white, but well, it's white. What do we call this? What do you call this? Okay, light brown. Let me just say light brown. Sorry. From here, click one and see. Man, what do you call this now? Light brown. So with this now that you have all of this saved here as your color styles, if you create something new, you can just apply those colors to it. So, okay, let me see, created a fresh new rectangle. You can come here and you see all the colors that you have saved, so you can click select them. So all of this enable you to save time. So when you start on a project and you have all your colors locked in, you can just save them as styles, so you can use them over and over again without having to that's it without having to go and click select and color. You just save them to your styles and you can use them on that project over and over again. All right, so that's just a quick way that I use or how I pick colors from websites and use them for my own projects. Yeah, so that's that. Um, it's a very short class, but trust me, color is not. I myself, to be honest, I haven't mastered it. If I'm being honest, it's just that I have certain tricks or certain tips that I use over and over again just to make things better. Either I take the base color, the brand color of the project, and I create variations of that, or I would look at colors that are being used on sites that are like I take screenshots all the time of sites that I see online. I save them to well, not Pinterest. There's this other one I have my mind. So I create bookmarks of them, or I just take screenshots and put on my Google Drive. Then when I need to do a project, I just go back, take some of those screenshots and use them to inspire me for how I want to use colors on that project. That's one of the best way I've seen to. So instead of reinventing the wheel, you can actually just instead of reinventing the wheel all the time, you can just use right on the shoulders of others, whether it's using color palettes from places like Color Hunt or Colors. This is another one I shared, Color Hunt, where people can save their colors, and you can just come here and you know use some of those colors to build your own project. So yeah, that's that for colors. Um, I'll drop some of the same links I've shared here. I'm going to drop them in the WhatsApp chat so you can have time to go through them. But the best way to learn how to use colors, or the best way to see how those colors will look, is when you actually use them. We can speak, so we can speak a whole lot of theory, but you need to be able to. Is when you're using them on your projects that you can see what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, that's all I have. So if any, like I still said, if you like to share I think we should do an open day whereby we don't teach, we just get feedback. We should actually do one of those days whereby we just give feedback to students on what it is they are working on, so that everybody can learn from what someone else is doing. I think there will be a whole lot of learning from that. All right. Um, Roland, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, so okay. Quick one. Um, so I think we emphasized on this at the very beginning that learning technical skills is difficult. But when you have people who are guiding you, who are holding you by and more or less make the journey easy. Um, so it's not just about consuming content, okay, and just consuming content, coming to class, consuming content, and then you are not putting what you've learned into practice. So, and I think the best way to learn is to practice what you've learned. So, I will encourage those of us that are here, if you haven't done anything, it doesn't hurt you or it doesn't harm you from trying. Okay, um, if at any point you have issue, Chike is there, Gabriel is there, and then I think Michael is also there on the group. So you can always extend and then share whatever problems that you have. Okay, so that people will be there to help you. Okay, so that's just for me. So please, this information you are getting, please ensure you put them into use. So that's all from my end.
Please, please, please. I want to encourage you guys to actually design, right? I mean, it's called a UX design class, UX design course. So you actually have to design. You can't is you can see something and it might look easy to do, but by the time you start doing it, you now discover that wow, there's so much I don't know. But it is when you do that you will be able to fill in the knowledge gaps that you have. So I can only encourage you, like, just pick up Figma, do it maybe 1 hour, 2 hours a day, and you get good at it. So throughout the week, if you want, please share. You can share on the group, or you can send private messages with your work so that we can actually give you feedback on and drop comments on your Figma file that you can now implement. So other than that, that's all from me. I'm sorry the class started late, but I hope you're able to get a little bit
I don't
of.
think ever since we've started, I don't think I've seen any. I don't think we've seen any design on the group.
I okay, so we actually haven't, and I think we need to encourage that. We need to encourage that. Though I have seen on a particular assignment that TK did. Some people shared the assignment, so I was able to see, but those were mostly wireframes anyway. It's nice to see that people have fleshed out more things. I think we should encourage that.
All right, so that'll be all for now. I think we have how many more weeks left? So it would be
Yeah.
nice to have projects. Okay, it would be nice to have projects, but if at this point we are just we've not done anything, we haven't seen anything, it will also discourage us on our own end to want to push forward for more things.
All right. So I think that's all from me. I can say peace out. But throughout this week, I'm going to be hounding people to share their projects. Yes, it's a UX design class, so I'm going to people should please share their projects. All right, that's all for me.
Right, guys. Bye. So
Thank you.